Hello, and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror, the podcast where two best friends spin a wheel once a week. It chooses the horror film, and they discuss it. Today we're talking about 2017's The Babysitter, which was directed by Mick G. I'm your co-host, Alec.
I'm Eric.
And you got some explaining to do, Eric.
Oh, come on. This movie, like, the name is sick. The story sounds cool. And Sam Weaving, man, I know you got a thing for her. I know you do.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? But yeah, you had to throw it on the wheel. So keep it fresh. Variety, you know?
Yeah, what did you think? Honestly, what did you think of it?
I mean, whoa. Yeah, it's a movie and really quick. It was like an hour 25. And I'm gonna forget this movie in like a week. Like it's very forgettable, but it was good at its moments. It was fun. I mean, the kills were fun.
The kills is like the only thing I feel like I had going for it. I don't know.
It was ridiculous. This movie was ridiculous, but it was good.
I was watching it and I was like, man, this kind of feels like a CW show on HBO.
It felt like a CW show. Yes. Yes.
And then I didn't know who directed. I didn't know anything about this movie. And then it's like directed by McG. And I was like, oh, that's the guy that did Supernatural. I was like, oh yeah, that's a CW show.
I'd count that. I'd count that. That's a great point. It felt like it could have been a TV show.
I mean, it's graphic. It's like really graphic. So I mean, it would have to be on like HBO or something. But yeah, so yeah, I didn't love it. The beginning, for the first like 30 minutes, I was like, is this a horror movie? Like, what is it? This felt like The Girl Next Door, but with like a 12-year-old. I was like, what is this movie? And then finally, gets into it.
The setup was a little long. I'll give it that for just an hour and a half movie.
Literally, I paused it. It was at the 29-minute mark that they kill that first victim or whatever. So up until that point,
It took a while. It took a while. Yeah.
yeah. And then the last two-thirds of it just felt like Home Alone. Like this, but with a 12-year-old and he's killing people, It felt like violent Home Alone. It's not like horrible, but I did not like it, dude. I don't know. I thought the dialogue pissed me off. Like,
You come home at 4 in the morning. It's like, oh, I'll put on. It's like I got this movie Babysitter on DVD. It's like I'll throw it in.
on DVD. This is like what this is so
Yeah.
hard to get on DVD. It's like a Netflix original movie.
Pass out on the couch, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, it's over. Good.
Good, good. Yeah, you got an hour and a half nap. Dude, like the ending, I was just like, so, I mean, we're, all right, we'll walk through it because it's pretty quick. It's a pretty quick, bland movie.
Before we do, let me do the stats real quick. Get the stats going. Get them out of the way.
How are their stats? This is a Netflix movie.
No, I have like the date it came out and the runtime and all
Okay.
that stuff.
Okay.
So what I have is it debuted October 13th, 2017, which feels like yesterday, but it's now 8 years ago. Its runtime, like I said, super short. One of the shortest ones we've done in a while, an hour 25. Budget unknown because, like you said, it's like a Netflix movie. Its box, I don't know how they got a box office, but it says like 500,000, 500,000. Rotten Critic score 70%. Rotten Audience 62, which I'm surprised the critic score is better than the audience score, but I give it a 70.
What? Oh my God, no. I give it like a 40, dude. It's about, like, just so anybody that doesn't know, like, it's about a kid who's getting bullied and he's got this, like, really hot babysitter and she's, like, the coolest girl in the world. She's basically like if a 12-year-old wrote a girl. Like, it's like she likes Star Trek and she's got boobies and she's really pretty and she protects me. And, like, it's just, I don't know. It felt very much like a little kid wrote it. Yeah, so then the parents go away for the weekend. This kid's like very timid, doesn't have friends, and he's got this girl that lives across the street who seems awesome and perfect for him, but he's like, nah, 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 I want this like 8 or 25-year-old, whatever this girl Samara Weaving is in this movie. Her name is C, the girl Samara Weaving, and the main character boy is B. Or no, it's the opposite. It's C and B. The boy is C, the girl is B. Yeah, I mean, she's the babysitter and she's cool or whatever, but
He's dreaming big. He should go with the girl next door, his other friend or whatever.
well, here's the fucking thing, dude. He's 12.
I know. Shooting for the stars. You got to do it.
The babysitter is like, I don't know, man. It felt a little kind of like,
You think his babysitter's out of his league, the one who's being babysat?
of course, she's 25 and he's 12. I'm trying to say, like, she was kind of being flirtatious with him. Like, there were parts where I'm like, what is happening here? This felt like Licorice Pizza. I know you haven't seen that movie, but I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're like not cuddling, but they're like rolling around on the couch and stuff. I'm like,
I don't, it felt very flirtatious to me. Maybe I'm crazy. But we find out that B is the babysitter. She's basically just using virgins to get blood for this cult. But this doesn't come out until 30 minutes into the movie. There's no indication there's anything sinister going on other than this kid's getting bullied. It's very like coming of age.
Yeah, you feel like watching this and not knowing, you feel like the babysitter is gonna kill the bullies or something and protect them or something. I don't know. Like that's where I was like, is that where it's going? I have no idea.
I wish it went that way. I wish that she's like, I'll use you to coax kids in for my cult or whatever, but that's not what happens. So C is just following, Samara Weaving's character around while he's getting bullied, driving. His dad's teaching him how to drive, but he sees Samara Weaving with this other nerdy guy. And you're like, at that point, I was like, okay, what's going on? Why is she like with this guy? Like, doesn't make any sense. There must be something sinister going on here. And then we find out that he's going to be the person that's sacrificed for the cult. So that's like the start of the movie. I mean,
It was a cool reveal. It was a cool reveal.
yeah, yeah. I mean, something had to fucking happen. It was 30 minutes into an hour and a half movie, and there's nothing. But yeah, I mean, there was couple little funny moments. I like Ken Marino, obviously. He's really funny.
The dad, yeah, he was good. I mean, he's such a cool character always, and he's so like typecasted into being like that like douchey dad, but he was great.
He is. He's funny. I've always liked him. There's like, he was in The State and obviously Wet Hot American Summer and Party Down. I mean, role models.
Role models, yeah, the porta potty guy, dude. That's it. That's who he is in this movie. It's great.
Yeah. And the mom was funny too. I recognize her. I can't think what I recognize her from, but I've definitely seen her and stuff before.
I'm gonna look it up right now as you keep going.
But yeah, both the parents were funny and they're nice and like the characters seem like developed. The characters were fine. These characters. But then after the cult stuff starts to happen, so this is the thing that I was like kind of creepy. I know she's drugging him or whatever, but why did she offer him alcohol?
Because she wanted to be the coolest of the cool babysitters, which is still
That's
illegal.
Eric, that's insane to give a 12-year-old a shot of liquor to be cool. Like, dude, you're going to like jail if you do that.
Like if you he tells his friends that, his friends tell his mom that, she's in deep shit.
Yeah. And like, what if he fucking throws up or something? Like, such a crazy idea. She should have just put in apple juice or whatever. A 12-year-old drinks a Coke.
Oh, and real quick, C's mom, Cole's mom, is in Talladega Nights, Zookeeper, Law Abiding Citizen, Iron Man. She's in a ton.
That's right. She's the mom from Talladega Nights. That's right.
Leslie Bibb.
Yeah. So she's funny and Ken Marino, very funny couple. Really like them a lot. But yeah, I thought that was crazy. So basically in the film, Samara Weaving is babysitting the boy, C. She's babysitting him for the night or for the weekend because the parents went away on a trip. He's hanging out with her and then she's like, hey, like, you know what? This will help you sleep. I'll get you a shot. And he's like, okay. So she brings it out and only one. He's like, you're not going to do any with me? Which is even crazier if this isn't like a cult or anything weird going on. It's
No,
like,
I'm sober for a lot of reasons.
yeah, it's like, what the fuck? So she brings over, she's like, okay, I'll be right back. He pours the shot out, pretends he takes it. So she thinks he actually drank it and drugged himself, but he didn't. So he goes to bed. And I guess before we get into the actual, I mean, it's really just a chase scene for the rest of the movie, but what's your experience with babysitters, Eric?
I had a babysitter growing up for a long time, and she was like an angel. She was the best babysitter ever, and I'm still Facebook friends with her.
Good. So it was all good. You never had any cult?
Yeah, it was usually me and my sister were getting babysat by our babysitter, and yeah, no cult that I remember.
Okay.
There was a couple weird times, but aside from that, she was the best babysitter. Her name was Shannon too. I have so many Shannons in my life.
Jesus, yeah, you do. Did you ever babysit anybody?
Yeah, here and there, but like not like reoccurring. That wasn't like a babysitter, but Shannon, my wife Shannon, a lot of Shannons, like I mentioned, she babysat and dog sat and house sat and did all that stuff over the years.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I had a babysitters when I was young, but not once I got a little older. I mean, I don't know, man. I was a latchkey kid. I was home alone a lot from like 11 onwards, basically. But I used to have to fucking watch, yeah, like Hunter and my younger brother Jack. And like, it's kind of crazy if you really think about it. Like, I was 13, 14, maybe watching a 1-year-old, 2-year-old for a couple hours. Not overnight ever, but for a couple hours.
Yeah, well, your brother was young. I mean, that's like it's not babysitting your brother, but it
It
was.
is, though.
Yeah, you bet. I count that.
It's scary, dude. Like, and now that I'm thinking, obviously nothing like this ever happened, but like, It's just I don't know. It feels weird to leave a kid alone with another kid. But this in this situation, she's not a kid. Samara Weaving's like 25, so you're also like, why are you fucking babysitting? So what is your life?
Dude, like today, like I mean, we have a dog sitter right now. We don't have a babysitter for summer. It's just our in-laws and my mom and sister, if anything. But we have a dog sitter, but we have cameras in the house. We have a Furbo, and like it's just like not to spy or anything, but like did he come over and let the dog out while we're gone for a couple days? Like we want to make sure that he showed up, and like we never bother him. But it's like today, it's like the stakes are high. You don't even know if you're being watched anymore.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, it's a lot different nowadays, but I don't know. It just feels weird. It shouldn't feel weird. It's like hitchhiking. Like, in theory, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'll give this guy a free ride, but then so many people fucked it up. And babysitting, nothing bad. Yeah, you don't hear that much about bad babysitting stuff, but I just like, I don't know. I feel very uncomfortable watching someone's kid and then something crazy happens and you're like, fuck. It's not like an iPad. I can just, I'll get you another one. I don't know. It scares me watching other people's kids.
Yeah, babysitting's pretty a good deal. You usually get some good money for just like chilling.
Not that good. It's like 25 bucks an hour or whatever.
Well, that's your brother, though. No.
For my brother, I didn't get paid anything. Yeah. But no, anyways. All right. So yeah, we don't have any good really babysitting stories. I do remember one time my little brother would never shut the fuck up. He would never stop crying. And I did put on Bon Jovi's Bad Medicine, and immediately he stopped crying when I put that on.
That's a great story. What are you talking about? That's better than this movie. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Just be like, oh my God, stop. Like I didn't know what to do. I'm fucking 13. I don't know how to make this kid stop.
that's what you went to? I don't, yeah, like, it worked.
Music. I know. This is a long time ago. It's like 2003. All right. So yeah, back into the movie. Back into the movie. So yeah, now they're the cult. So we don't know it's a cult yet, actually. So Samara Weaving is gonna have a bunch of her friends over, which is also insane to be like, I'm gonna babysit and have like six people over who Samara Weaving's not in high school, I don't think. So all these kids are in high school. So she's just hanging out with high schoolers, Ghislaine Maxwell it up, and then brings them back to this house where they play spin the bottle. And C is like spying and peering and being like, what are they doing? He sees them playing spin the bottle. And everybody's very attractive. Everybody looks good except for this one nerd guy. And he's, kind of, it stands out a little bit because everybody else looks like a CW star. And then you got this one fucking nerdy guy. And Samara Weaving, it lands on her, and she has to kiss everybody in the room, and everybody's playing along. And then she goes up to kiss the nerdy guy, who you think is her boyfriend, because he's earlier in the film. The younger boy sees spying and sees them together. So you're like, okay, like they have a relationship, I guess. And then when they go in for the kiss, Samara Weaving takes out these two knives and stabs him in the head. So all his blood pours out, sacrificial blood.
Really, really aggressive, but that was sick.
Yeah, that was surprising. That came out of nowhere. Because I was like, what are we doing? When is something gonna happen? So something did finally. So they kill them. And it's Samara Weaving. I didn't recognize any of the other people, but apparently one of them is like a kind of famous, like
Pitch Perfect. Yeah, what's her name? She was in.
Bella Thorne.
Oh, her? Yeah, oh yeah, she's huge, and she's not around for long. But there's also Sonya. She's kind of like the Asian looking one.
Okay.
She's like huge for Pitch Perfect. Her character's in all the movies.
Yeah, I didn't recognize like any of them, but apparently a lot of them are pretty big. So people watching are probably, Judah Lewis or whatever. Oh no, that's the main kid.
Yeah, but Gigi Hadid is like Bella Hadid's sister or something. I was like, yeah. I don't know. She was just in a Yellowstone episode I saw too. So it's like she's pretty famous just because of Instabook and all that.
Yeah, I didn't know any of these people, but yeah, so most people probably, I guess, younger people will know who they are, but they're all kind of douches though, dude. Like nobody's likable of these people. I mean, I'm assuming that's the point. They're not trying to be themselves, right?
Yeah, they're not good people. They're in a cult killing kids for blood. They're not supposed to be looked highly at.
That aside, they're still just like really annoying, arrogant pieces of shit or whatever. And I think this is the first time they're all doing this aside from Samara Weaving. I feel like she brought them all together to be like, okay, so if we drink virgin blood or whatever, then it's a deal with the devil and we can get whatever we want. I have the spell book or whatever. So they all have a wish. Each of the kids has a wish that they want to do with this blood sacrifice. I don't remember fucking any of them.
I couldn't tell you any of them right now, but what was the babysitters?
The babysitters at the end, she says she did it to become confident or something. Like as she's like walking around the table, she's like, I used to be a loser.
What sounds like she's done it before, so maybe she became from like a nerdy Star Trek girl to like a pretty smoke show.
Oh, 100%.
That's what it was.
This is not Samara Weaving's first time doing this. This is everyone else's first time doing this.
And I wonder if it's Hocus Pocus style, like if you stop doing it, like you get old again, so you got to keep doing it.
Well, that'd be cool if they said that, but they didn't.
Yeah, like I've been doing this for 300 years with the nerds in the 1800s, and like,
Yeah, I mean, they don't say anything. I mean, we'll get to the ending because the ending fucking pissed me off because it didn't say anything. But so we assume that the rest of these kids they all have their own thing. I do remember the cheerleader girl, she was gonna get into a good college with this, but I can't remember the other people's MOs or whatever. So at this point, after they kill the virgin, they go upstairs and they're like, all right, let's go get more virgin blood from an even younger virgin, and they're implying the kid who's drugged upstairs.
who's not drugged because he's poured it out,
No, exactly.
and the plant he gave it to the plant or whatever, which poor plant.
Yeah, so he pours out the shot that has the roofies or whatever it is in it. And so he's not drugged, but he's pretending to be drugged. So they suck out a little bit of his blood, like one vial, okay? Like not that much, like a vial. I wouldn't want that anybody to do it to me, but whatever. He then stands up after they all leave. They take more virgin blood and he gets up. He's like, "All right, I'm gonna, climb out the window and get out of here." He then passes out from that little amount of blood getting taken from him. That wasn't that much
I
blood.
don't know, maybe a little stress, maybe, out of breath from climbing out of the window too. But that amount of blood is not worthy of knocking anyone out.
They drug this kid to take one vial of blood for them to share amongst themselves.
Did you ever give blood at a blood drive?
No.
I've done a few, and in high school, I remember we had like four kids just drop as I was giving blood. It was wild. Like you'd be giving blood, and all of a sudden you hear like someone fall on the floor, and like they'd be like, "Oh, get them snacks and fruit snacks. Get the fruit snacks and water."
One time I not gave blood, but for a blood test or whatever. And I started feeling lightheaded because he took a lot of blood. And I was like, all right, I'm kind of starting to get dizzy or whatever. He's like, oh, your blood sugars are down. Hold on one second. He comes back with a Diet Coke.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. You just got to get that sugar.
There's no fucking sugar in Diet Coke.
It's the fake sugar.
That doesn't do anything.
Yeah, good point. That's not the best one.
He gave me a diet soda to raise my blood sugar.
It's usually like crackers, fruit snacks, and water.
Anything with sugar. He's like, we got to raise your blood sugar level by giving you artificial sugar. It's like, okay, this is a hospital. Yeah, so anyways, they take a very insignificant amount of blood and then they go downstairs with it and he wakes up and he passes out and they catch him passing out and she brings him down, ties him up. One of the douchey guys is shirtless and they're all standing there just looking at him like, what were you thinking? Cole, his name's Cole, C. Cole. And he's like, I just want to go home, like, or whatever. And they like kick the shit out of him. The shredded guy just like,
Yeah, that was wild.
that's like how SWAT guys break in doors with their feet. Like, this was intense. Like you probably kill that kid, honestly. A 12-year-old that small, that guy that big, that would probably like break his sternum.
Definitely broke something, a rib.
He's the protagonist, so he's fine. And yeah, they basically just like talk to him about like, yeah, you're a virgin, we need your blood and stuff. I like don't remember this scene really. I don't remember what they say to him when he's tied up or why they won't let him leave or whatever. But it's basically a big reveal that all these teens are gonna get a wish from this or whatever. Here's another thing that I didn't love about the scene in the movie in general. They just referenced so many other good movies throughout the entire movie.
I had a lot of one-liners too. I can't recall any off the top of my head.
The one from Seven, where it's like, "What's in the box?"
Oh yeah, they were doing like that a lot. That was a lot in this movie.
Let me do the referencing, like when Samara Weaving is trying to be all cool, and she's like, "All right, so like, who's your super squad or whatever?" It's like, I got the Predator, I got Ripley from Alien. Just a lot of references to the better movies. It felt like the whole time, and I didn't love that. I didn't love that.
It's like, hey, we're referencing this movie, so we're a good movie.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It's the whole movie. There's constant examples, but I'm having trouble thinking of other ones.
I mean, you just name like 10 movies with that, like, oh, it's like I would pick Ripley, The Predator, Terminator. It's like all like really good 80s movies and stuff too,
Yeah.
mostly.
I mean, and it's highly stylized, this movie. They have like words on the screen and I don't know. Like it was a couple interesting things.
Little too cute. Little too cute.
Yeah, like the what the fuck, and I was like, okay. Like when that just the words on the screen, I was like, okay, all right. But so yeah, so he sees this. They take the blood, and This is kind of, I don't know, man. The next like 40 minutes, the rest of the movie basically is just him fighting each of these characters one by one. And we find out a little bit about each character. I mean, before he escapes, the police come in. That is the one thing. The police come in and they kill both the police officers. So like, even if you get your wish, like you still are probably going to jail and getting caught. Like you guys have gone pretty far.
Now your wish should be like freedom.
I mean, yeah, it's like, oh, I got into a good school. It's like you're going to jail for murdering a police officer. Like, what? Like, so they all have like superficial wishes, but yeah, they just murdered two cops, a kid to get the blood, and now they're about to kill the main character boy. So they've killed three people tonight so far.
Going through each of the kills, they were some were really good. Like when that one guy falls on that trophy from the staircase. I love that kill.
Yeah, that was unexpected. Yeah, it just perfectly slices. He's got like an award that's made out of glass, and it just like cuts his neck.
It's like a pointy award. He lands perfectly on it standing up, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, and then like, he gets like a firework and he shoots it at that one girl under the stairs. But
How did what's her name get shot in the boob? Was that the cop?
that was the cop. So
Yeah, I thought so.
yeah, so back to the cops really quick before the mayhem starts. These two cops break in, they've got guns pointed at everybody. And then the one guy, the shirtless jock guy, just whips this fire poker right through the cop's face. And the other cop doesn't think like, okay, I'm gonna start shooting now. And he doesn't. Yeah, it's just crazy. So the one cop, as he's dying, shoots the cheerleader girl in the boob. And that's just comedic gold, talking about her boob for like the rest of the movie is how nobody wants to suck her boob and she's got a deflated boob.
Her one boob is like destroyed.
Yeah, no one wants to motorboat my one boob. And, she was talking about her boob a lot. But also, you'd think she'd be dead. She got shot. She blew across. It was like Django Unchained levels of like getting blown across the room. She got one bullet in the chest.
It was like it was funny. Like
Dude, she flew across the room and hits the wall and then is like just making cracking jokes the rest of the movie as she's dying. We assume she dies. She comes back for a second at the end. But yeah, so then the boy escapes and then it really does turn into just Home Alone. He's got all these tricks up his sleeve and fireworks and he's got a tree house but instead of like, comedic, oh, the characters got hurt, it's like, no, they're fucking getting their brains blown out and, necks sliced and everything. And so that's like, honestly, that's the bulk of the movie is this just chase scene and him calling his little girlfriend across the street being like they're fucking coming for me or whatever. And yeah, the other things that are kind of sprinkled throughout this movie that were so obvious of foreshadowing with like the knife in the dishwasher.
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're like, of course that's going to come into play later. The other thing was, I guess, a little bit surprised me, but also came back to that scene is when he's like, yeah, I'm trying to make my, RC car so it can do like a kickflip in the air and spin and bash in all this stuff. And the dad's like, okay, stop, like, give me the knife. And then later, that's how he kills Samara Weaving as he crashes the car into the house, like spins it over. But we didn't mention two things earlier in the film is the girl, his little girlfriend across the street, her dad's divorced and he's got this hot young wife or girlfriend or whatever, and he's got his cool car that from high school that he always wanted. And
Yeah, this was insane. This was insane, Alec.
what, the character
This
or
whole scene with the car.
well, the car, yeah, yeah, we'll get back to the car, but I just want to mention that, but also the bullies. We didn't really talk about the bullies too much from the beginning. C, the kid, the young kid, he just keeps getting relentlessly bullied by these three kids.
Do they just like hang outside his house? Like where don't they have places to be?
I mean, I don't know. I thought bullying was like stopped. I thought you're not allowed to bully anymore.
Yeah, stop the bullying.
I thought it was over, but yeah. So these three bullies are just being pieces of shit to this kid in the beginning, and Samara Weaving saves him. But then later in the movie, the jacked jock, he's chasing after C, Cole, and the bully starts throwing eggs at the house while this is happening.
Which is like this kid's like a senior in high school and he's egging houses like he's 10.
Yeah, I mean, he probably doesn't come from the best home, I'd imagine. So he's like, all right, let's go. Let me go. I'll fuck up my bully or whatever. And the bully, like, is a piece of shit. He's like, they're trying to kill me. And he's like, well, sucks to suck. And he calls him, like, cold sore or something like that, or all these jokes about his name. But it felt very just, I don't know, over the top bullying the whole time. But that scene was crazy when the bully came to egg the house. Cole says, they're trying to kill me. And he's like, I don't care. I hope they do kill you, basically. I'm like, "Damn, that's, like, kind of fucked up for a bully, like, to really take it that far."
He probably just doesn't believe him.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, he's proven wrong. So he goes and gets the car. He runs out and gets the car. And then we get this kind of, little love scene as much as you can with two 12-year-olds where it's like, I wish every girl was like you. And they're like kissing her and stuff. And I don't know. It was weird.
A little cringy for sure.
It's whatever, but it's just, yeah. So he's like, I need your dad's car. And she's like, okay. And she gives him the car. He drives to go kill Samara Weaving because he's killed everybody else. At this point, he's murdered all of these seniors in high school and stuff, which is just crazy that 12-year-old's able to do that, but he does. And he kills Samara Weaving. He hits her with a car.
He like flips the car, like it's insane.
Yeah, it's like something from like a video game.
It's like Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's like Fast and the Furious. It's ridiculous. He spins in midair, crashes perfectly into the house, and just nails Samara Weaving.
And those cars didn't have airbags, so like he's hitting that steering wheel hard in the dome.
Oh, the kid's dead.
He should be dead after that.
Dude, okay, here's the thing, Eric. This kid he couldn't even figure out he needed a screwdriver to fix his RC car.
He passed out with one vial of blood. He is so dead.
Yeah, no, he's not even that smart. He literally couldn't. He didn't. He's like, oh yeah, she used a screwdriver to like fix my RC car. He's like, no, I'll use a knife. I know you can remember cop codes or whatever, but whatever. He's not. The kid's an idiot. So, but somehow he manages to do like an Evel Knievel style crash and hit Samara Weaving, and perfectly, we can see her body still, and she's like, "Oh, hey there, B." And this is the dumbest thing in the movie, man. I mean, Samara Weaving gives him no, real explanation. She's like, "I'm part of a cult, and I wanted confidence, and I needed virgins or whatever." He's like, "But you were special. I liked you or whatever." And it was just like, he's like, "I actually loved you. Like, I genuinely loved you. I don't care about your cult or any of that stuff. I love you." And she's like, "Oh, B or C or whatever your fucking name is." And then yeah, she dies, and that's the end of it.
Does she die? I thought
No,
the cops show up and like there's no body.
exactly.
And there's a mid-credit scene. You see that?
I
Or end
did.
credit scene.
It did. It was like, okay, so the cop comes in, and is like, there's no body. It's like every fucking mid-credit scene, and then she gets killed, or the cop gets killed.
Shows up and that's it. And then boom. Yep.
Yeah, so dumb. There's a sequel to this too. Like, my God.
There is. Oh, we're watching that. Put that bad boy on the
Oh,
reel.
fuck me, dude. That's the thing. It's not like she has any supernatural powers. She doesn't have anything.
Well, maybe the sequel will explain all that for you, Alec.
Yeah, this was rough. This one was rough. I mean, Samara Weaving's very attractive. It helped, but
Yeah, a lot of eye candy. A lot of eye candy for sure.
yeah. I mean, but it didn't kind of feel like the girl next door?
Yeah, the first 30 minutes. Yeah, I mean, of course. Like a nerdy guy with a hot girl who's like showing him the way and like protecting him. Like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It just felt like a child wrote it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give it that.
I just wish that we knew more about. I wish that Samara Weaving was using the other high school people. She was gonna fuck them over too. Once they sacrificed, I thought she was gonna fuck them over. And yeah, and then kind of what you said, like gain the powers, hocus pocus style.
Or just like instead of her doing this whole cult thing, like I thought, like while watching this for the first time, I know I mentioned this and you kind of took a different angle, but like if she became like a protector of him and was like killing the bullies just in general.
I would much rather prefer that too.
That would have been cool, but like, and then he's like, "You're doing wrong. You can't go around killing people." Like they use that line from Terminator or something.
Yeah, they probably would. They probably would.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny.
I don't know.
I got no final thoughts. I mean, it was a movie. It was good, eye candy. It was fun. Kills were great, and I just think it was a movie. It was a good horror movie. Good. I mean, the title card was cool. I like the old retro stuff. I didn't hate the like words popping out like Scott Pilgrim, but got a little cheesy. But I think that was the point of this movie.
Yeah, I mean the best way I can describe it, it's like a CW show on HBO. But it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, Eric, you want to spin the wheel?
I think we could spin the wheel. I think we've exhausted this film. Spinning. Ooh, Leave the World Behind.
All right, another Netflix one. But Eric, this one's long.
I've seen it once, so I'm gonna rewatch it and
Yeah.
enjoy it. I actually like this, so I can't wait. I actually am excited to talk about this.
You're not excited to talk about The Babysitter?
I
Come on.
was, but you brought me down real quick.
Oh my God. All right.
I'm kidding.
Well, everybody, thank you very much for listening to our discussion on The Babysitter, and we'll see you next week with Leave the World Behind.
Woo!